Hi, this is Miss Malloy. I'm on chapter 8 of Watson's Go to Birmingham, the Ultra Glide. I don't know why we didn't catch on that something different was really going to happen this time. Mama and Dad started acting real strange right after they talked to Grandma Sands. First, Mama started writing in a notebook and adding things up and subtracting things. Then Dad and Joey and Rufus and me started driving all over Flint, buying things for the brown bomber. We stopped at Genesee Junkyard and bought a new antenna for the radio and 4 new used tires. And then we stopped at Mr. Biller's garage and had the tires put on the car. Then we stopped at the Yankee store and bought some spark plugs and some oil and antifreeze. Then we got our next door neighbor, Mr. Johnson, to help put all of that stuff in the car. Then we washed and waxed the brown bomber. When Byron walked by while we were working on it, he said, "Y'all done real good. It still looks like a turd on wheels, but I gotta admit, now it looks like a polished turd." We ignored him. While Joey cleaned the windows, me and Rufus washed the seats and even the parts that were torn and worn away. But the more we washed them, the worse they looked. And Dad ended up going back to the Yankee store and buying some brown and white seat covers for the front seat. The brown bomber looked great. Not almost new, but not almost 15 years old either. We brought Mama out and showed it to her, and she gave us one of those big hand-over-her-mouth smiles. "Well, folks," Dad said, and we all knew he was getting ready to cut up. "All it needs now is that final touch, that special something that sets it apart from all the other buckets of bolts on the road. That one piece of all-American engineering that shows that this fine automobile is worthy of the name Brown Bomber." Any guesses as to what that is? A new hood thing, I asked. The thing in the middle of the hood was a long chrome rocket that pointed out over the road. The only thing that was wrong with it was that one of the wings of the rocket was broken off. Like with everything else, Dad had a crazy explanation for that. He told us right after he got the car from Uncle Bud, both wings were there, but that he had taken it to a special garage and one wing had scientifically and mathematically taken off. When we asked him why, he told us that was the way we came back. When we asked him why, he told us that way when we came back from a long trip, we'd be coming in on a wing and a prayer. That's the kind of junk Dad thinks is funny. "No," Dad answered my question. "It's not a new hood thing. The one on there now is perfectly fine." "Joey, what's your guess?" "I don't know, Daddy. I don't think anything can make the bomber any better. I think it's perfect." "Bless you, sweetheart. Rufus, your turn. What do you think?" "I don't know, Mr. Watson. I like y'all's car just fine." I knew there was something I liked about that boy. "All right, Walona, what's your guess?" "I don't know either," Mama said and rolled her eyes. "I think the car is per. Mama was cutting up too. "Oh my God, I can't say it." "Real cute, Walona. Well, since Kenneth and Mama have insulted the great brown one, I guess that leaves it up to Rufus and Pumpkin to put the final piece on." He handed the keys to Rufus. "Rufus, you open the trunk. And Pumpkin, there's a small bag in there. You have the honor of putting what's inside of it on." Rufus popped the trunk open, and Joey took a small paper bag out. She turned back to everyone and looked inside. "Oh, Daddy, I love it. Do you know where it goes?" "Yes, Daddy." "Okay, time's a waste and put it on." She put her hand in the bag and without pulling it out, she said, "And now, the thing that makes this car more perfect." Dad started helping Joey cut up. He said, "The final touch." Joey repeated, "The final touch. The height of technology. The height of technology. The ultimate in American knowledge. The ultimate in American knowledge. Mama couldn't take it anymore. For God's sake, Daniel, what is it? The pinnacle of Western civilization. It's the pinnacle of Western civilization. Now, Joey, dazzle 'em, girl." Joey pulled her hand out of the bag and said, "It's a smelly green pine tree." Mama went, "Ugh," and walked back into the house. Joey hung the smelly green pine tree from the rearview mirror and scooted out of the car to let me and Rufus smell her fingers. But Dad wasn't through adding things to the brown bomber. On Saturday morning, Joey and me got up real early to watch cartoons, and Dad was already brushing his teeth and shaving. I went into the bathroom to watch him. I love the way shaving soap smells. Hi, Dad. Morning, Kenny. How'd you sleep? Dad said this with his toothbrush in his mouth. Okay, I guess. Then Dad pulled one of his famous tricks on me. He said, Kenny, look. And he pointed out in the hallway. Even before I could think, my head turned around, and I followed Dad's finger. When I saw nothing and looked back at Dad, was smiling a mile a minute, acting like he hadn't done anything. But I noticed his toothbrush was gone. I let him know he didn't fool me. Dad, how come you always hide your toothbrush? Why don't you keep yours with ours? Dad laughed. Well, Kenny, I guess I don't keep my toothbrush with the rest of yours because unlike your mother, I was a little boy once myself. I thought about this for a second and then said, what does that mean? Dad picked up my toothbrush and said, look at this. Not only is this instrument perfect for brushing teeth, it has other wonderful uses too. You see, Kenny, I know that in a little boy's eyes, there isn't anything in the world that's better for general cleaning than a toothbrush. And the greatest thing about it is that with a good rinse afterward, no one can tell what it was used for. I also know that the best toothbrush for cleaning is always someone else's. So rather than wondering what my toothbrush last cleaned, I think it's better that it goes in a place only that I know about. Dad was right. I caught Byron using mine once to shine up some quarters and another time to brush Blackie's teeth. I didn't really care, but Blackie didn't like it. That was the only time he ever growled at someone in his own family. Dad was stirring the soap dish up with his shaving brush, and I got close to the sink to smell the soap. Dad painted his face with the soap and then bent down and rinsed it off. I know it sounds crazy, but he always did this twice. He said it really made your beard super soft. He learned that because he used to work in a barber shop when he was a little boy. That's where he learned that if you can go to the barber shop, you've got to make sure your neck is real clean. Otherwise, the barber talks about you like a dog after you leave. So, Dad said as he put the second coat of soap on his face, let me guess why you're standing so close. Could it be that you wanted me to soap your face up and hold you up here while you shave it off? It's been a long time since we've done that. Aw, man, I'm way too old for that. Besides, I'm starting to get a real mustache. Look. I stuck out my upper lip for Dad to see. Where? Dad leaned down and looked real hard. I can't see it. Here, look. Maybe if he got closer to the light. Dad bent over and picked me up to the mirror. I automatically turned my head sideways when I saw my reflection. Sometimes I forgot all about my lazy eye. Well, I don't believe it. If you squint your eyes real hard, there's no doubt about it. This boy's got a real mustache going here. I didn't know if Dad really could see it or not, but I knew it was there. He put me down. Won't be long before you and I have to share the mirror in the morning, huh? I couldn't help it. Even though I knew he might be kidding, I broke out in a real big smile and nodded my head up and down. Dad started shaving. Well, just so there's no problems, I've got seniority on you, so I get the bathroom first. Deal? Deal. When Dad finished, he said, you too old for a little Old Spice? He slapped the cologne on me and said, I don't want your mother to know I put this aftershave on you. What with you smelling so good and this new mustache coming out, I don't want her blaming me when all these little girls start attacking you. I twisted my face up. We walked to the living room to watch cartoons, but when we got there, Dad kept going and said, if your mother gets up before I get back, just tell her I won't be long. Where are you going, Daddy? Joey asked. Dad gave his famous answer, out, and then closed the door behind him. Dad missed Felix the Cat, Soupy Sales, Beanie and Cecil, The Ray Dini Show, and Betty Boop. He missed Mama getting up and Byron getting up. When he finally got back, we were all sitting on the couch watching the worst cartoon ever made, Clutch Cargo. Dad walked in and turned the TV off. Dad! Sorry, kids. Everyone's got to come outside right now. You too, Daddy-O. You too, Walona. I've got a surprise. Dad made us stop at the front door and get in line, one behind the other, Mama first, then Byron, then me, then Joey. Except for bald-headed Bi, we were all laughing and wondering what Dad's surprise was when he opened the door. Following Dad, we walked down the front porch steps and stood on the sidewalk like a little parade. I bet the neighbors wondered what the weird Watsons were doing this time. All right, Dad said. When I say it, I want everybody to close their eyes, and I'm warning you, if anyone who looks before I tell you to is going to get it. My eyes, of course, would be sealed. If a bomb exploded under me, I'd be standing in the hole with my eyes sealed. If my head got blown off, they'd have to say, here's that kid's head, and yup, his eyes are locked tight as a safe. Byron said I was stupid for listening to everything that Mom and Dad said. But if I was so stupid, why was he the one who had a great big, bald, shiny, knotted up head? Burn. Dad said, okay, now hold the person in front of you by the shoulders. Willona, you hold on to mine. It's only going to take a minute. He said this last part because Mama rolled her eyes and was real close to stopping everything by turning around and going back into the house. All right, close them. Mama gave him her last straw look and closed her eyes, and then so did we. Dad shuffled us ahead a little bit, and then we stopped. It was real hard not to peek. Okay, keep them shut. I'm not playing. I heard the car door open, then I heard a loud pop, and I heard Byron say, oh, man. Me and Joey cracked up. We knew a certain person had peeked and got popped right smack jab on the bald head. Finally, Dad said, that's it. Open your eyes. What do you think? Dad had opened the driver's side of the brown bomber and was standing with one arm pointing all the way inside. In the middle of the dashboard, to the right of the steering wheel, something real big was sticking out. Dad had taken one of our giant towels and set it over the thing. Everybody stood there staring. Finally, Mama said, Daniel, what on earth is that towel doing there? The towel is fine, Willona. Aren't you wondering what's underneath it? Yeah, Dad, what is that thing? I asked. Well, Kenneth, since you seem to be the only one with any curiosity, I guess you'll be the one who gets to unveil the bomber's latest edition. I crawled into the front seat and raised the corner of the towel so no one but me could see what was underneath it. I couldn't believe it. Dad, it's great. The rest of them, Byron included, crowded up to the brown bomber's door. Mom had a worried voice. What have you done to this car now? Daniel, what's under that towel? I grabbed the corner of the towel. Ladies and Byron interrupted me when he saw I was going to tease them. He said, oh, man, just pull the blanket towel off so I can get out of here. I ain't got all day to listen to your mess. He was always in a hurry to get out of someplace, but never had anywhere else to go. Byron, how many times have I told you about saying ain't? And Kenneth, you stop playing and move this towel this minute, Mama said. I talked real fast before Mama could get any matter. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest addition to the brown bomber, I whipped the towel aside, our very own drive-around record player. Mama went, oh my God, and gave Dad a dirty look and then walked back into the house. Joey squealed, oh boy. Even cool old Byron forgot how cool he was and screamed down, oh man, this is too hip. No one's got one of these. Speedy don't even got one in his Cadillac. Too much, man, way too much. Joey and Byron climbed into the car on either side of me. We all said, turn it on, Daddy. I knew Dad was kind of disappointed by the way Mama had acted. She really hurt his feelings by walking off like that. Some of the time, I think she forgot how sensitive Dad was. Even though he acted cheery with us, I knew it wasn't the same for him now. I knew if Mama had stayed and hadn't gone off mumbling about money, that we would have been having a lot more fun. But Dad forgot all this stuff real quick and got excited about showing off the record player. Dad was like me. He loved putting on a show. Or as Mama said, we both loved acting the fool. Dad was the best at it, though, and I couldn't wait until I was as good as he was. Well, Dad said, leaning down into the car. I can see you three have the ultimate in taste. I see you've chosen the top of the line, the cream of the crop, the true tone, AB700 model, the Ultra Glide. We had to, because right in front of the record player in big red letters said TTAB 700 Ultra Glide. Hello?